Hey, what up, guys? Welcome to Sports Cartel. It's me, Tony. Anyway, we're doing a review for this grand final. Leicester versus the Bulls. The Bulls lost. Quick update for anyone who didn't know. The Bulls lost without a fight. And we're going to get into it, why it happened like that. Firstly, how does it happen that your coach spends most of the run-up to the game when he's speaking to us with the media, talking about how great the other team is and they can't compete? I don't know if that would give me any confidence. And Jake White has been doing that the whole week, talking about that they're playing the Irish team. And everyone knows that Leicester is basically an Irish team. But that doesn't mean that you cannot compete. That doesn't mean that you have to talk about that all the time and make it your main focus. How about you try your best? That's what sports is. Otherwise, just don't try and get to the final, or don't go to the final. Give up. So that was sad for me. And by the way, why is it called a grand final? That didn't feel grand. I'm sorry. But that game felt like it was just a normal round-robin mid-season game. It didn't have that gravitas, if I'm using that word correctly, but I think I am. It just didn't click. It was hard to watch. And maybe it's because my team wasn't involved. Maybe I'm not emotionally involved in the game, but it just didn't feel like a spectacle. I think after 14 minutes, when Leicester went 14 up, the game was practically gone. I think the Bulls carried on playing because there was still time, but it didn't seem like they believed that they could do it. Especially in the first half, there were two occasions where they were in an attack and they were just picking and driving on an individual basis. And they were just being tackled. Creativity was hard to find. And the person or the people that were meant to bring the creativity, I would imagine, would be Goosen and Willie. Willie spent half the game throwing his hands up and complaining. And he was making some of the dumbest decisions. The Willie of old, if we all remember, the Willie of old, running down the dark alleys. So I don't know what the rest of the team is meant to think when the senior player is the one who's throwing his hands up. And I was shocked when that last bad pass, I think it was Moody, did a bad pass to him and he knocked it on and the ball dipped in front of him. And the guy just goes crazy and he shouts at Moody. He throws his hands up, he gives the referee a word or two. It's not a good look, especially from a senior player. Goosen shouldn't have played. Never mind making it to 60-odd minutes as a starting fly half who's not effective. The guy's coming back from injury and not effective at all. So it was also a shock that Jake White kept him for that moment, for that period of time. Maybe it's linked to the emphasis that Jake White puts on internationals. Let's have internationals out. I think Johannes deserved to, if not start the game, but come on a bit earlier to try and affect the game. He's not the best, but he's been doing better than what Goosen delivered today. So that was kind of sad. I've spoken about the one-dimensional attack, just the pick and go. And I think there's this feeling that whenever it starts raining, we can only attack in one way, the pick and go. I think it's mostly South African teams. This morning I was watching Super Rugby semi-finals. It's totally different, especially the game with the Chiefs against the Brumbies. Totally different. And yes, I know that the defense maybe in Super Rugby is not as good as what we have up here in URC, but the attack, the ambitiousness of the players to try and do something attack-wise, totally different, especially with the Bulls today. Totally different. Last but not least, I would say Ruan Nortjé is a senior player. Not only he's a captain. I know he's playing out of position at the moment. He's playing number 7. And A lot of people have got this crazy idea, because he's lanky and he can play lock and 7, that he's Mostert. He's far from it. He might have an engine similar to Mostert, running around and, covering spaces, but how effective is he? I didn't see even one dominant tackle as a flanker. You're running around, but it's like a headless chicken. Sorry if it sounds like derogatory, but there was no impact in terms of what he was doing, and should have expected more. I think they really did miss Cameron because of the enthusiasm and the hard work and the graft that he puts in. I think even though he's not a leader per se in terms of being senior or being a captain or vice captain, but I think he's one of those guys that puts in the tackles, turns over the ball, and he runs hard, and he inspires the rest of the guys around him. So that's the pretty review from me regarding the final. Congrats to Leicester. When I did the preview, I did say I can't see the Bulls winning it. I'm not saying I'm proud of that, because I did support the Bulls and I love an underdog story, but this was poor. Like I say, after 14 minutes, you could just feel that it wasn't going to happen. And that's sad when you just know it's not going to turn up. It's not going to happen. Nonetheless, let me know what you guys think. We're starting the international season now. I'm busy with a big video that is taking me, it took me 7 days a week to research, and it took me like 2 days to shoot. So now I'm busy with the editing and it's driving me crazy. But when it comes out, it's going to be beautiful. And I'm very excited with how it's turning out so far, even though it's not done. And hopefully you can see part 1 sometime during this coming week, and hopefully you can enjoy it. And I think it's a very interesting story. But nonetheless, let me know what you think about the grand final, Leicester versus the Bulls. Interesting. And enjoy the rest of the weekend. Tony.